So today we will talk about the timeline according to Christian and Vedic traditions. So this understanding of timeline is very important because you need to know when did this universe come into being, what is God's position, when did he start all of this activity, and then what is our position and duty in this world. So according to Christianity, there is a chapter called Job. So Bible is divided into 12 chapters, one for each one of their disciples of Jesus. So Job happens to be either a direct disciple or disciple's colleague. I don't know exactly because I'm not a Bible scholar. So basically, according to Job 38:7, in the first age, God created all souls. We were with God at that time. When the morning stars sang together and the sons of God shouted for joy. Satan rebelled and deceived. Drew is one of the person in that biblical story. He deceives other people. A third of God's children. In Revelation 12:4, and his tail lies drew a third part of the stars angel of heaven. So which means that this person called Drew, he cheats, he tricks a third of the people to rebel against God. And according to Srimad Bhagavatam, 1/4 of the souls rebel against God. Right? So there is some parallel. The mathematics may be a little difficult or different, I should say. The overthrow of Satan. God did not want to destroy his children. He created this second age, putting all souls in flesh bodies, not remembering what has happened in the first stage. So all these people were put in flesh and blood bodies like we are. Right? Which is very similar to Bhagavad Gita chapter 3 verse 10. In the beginning of creation, the God sent forth generations of demigods and humans so they can come to earth and perform sacrifice. This is chapter 3 verse 10. So something similar is going on in the Bible also. They're putting all the souls in flesh bodies. But then just like we don't remember what happened in the spiritual world, they're also saying that we are not remembering what happened in the first age. Giving those who were deceived by Satan another chance to decide who will follow this time. So people who were deceived by Satan, giving them one more chance. So in the Vedic tradition, so whoever is under the influence of Maya is given a chance to rectify their sinful behavior, rebellious behavior against God, and come back. So more or less, there is some analogy between the Bible and this. Of course, if you talk to a Christian, that fellow will fight with you until no end. He'll say only Jesus can liberate you and all that. So we don't want to get into that kind of discussion. We just want to understand what's going on. And according to Bible, this is the lay of the land. This is around the Old Testament 5,000 years ago. So Bhagavad Gita is slightly before the Old Testament, around 5,500 years ago. So this is how they had a description of the world, right? So again, there are a lot of biblical scholars who have published all this on the internet. I've taken it from them. This is called Middle Earth. So there is the higher realm where God lives, and this is the Middle Earth. So this is one more depiction. So there is something called gates of the night and doors of the night and gates of the morning, lands of sun, dark land, different kinds of land. If you see, according to the Vedic tradition, Sapta Dvipa Mahapati, the Bhu Mandala is divided into 7 planets and 7 bodies of water, right? So it is said that in one body of water, it is salt water. In one body, it is ocean of milk. One body, it is ocean of liquor. One body, it is ocean of this, that, like that. So there are different oceans. Again, that's a whole science in itself. It will take an hour just to cover those oceans and what they do and all that. I won't get into that right now. So there is some parallel between this and that, because ultimately the whole Christian tradition is a diluted version of the Vedic tradition, right? Because their knowledge was not carefully preserved. The knowledge was preserved in parts of India, but these people were quite far away in the Bethlehem, Jerusalem. That's quite far away, right? As the distance from Vedic India increases, the knowledge deteriorates, right? You can almost draw a graph. So distance on x-axis and knowledge on y-axis. So it's like a gradually sloping parabola that you can see. This is one other artist depiction based on the Vedas. And this is very interesting. Srila Prabhupada's disciples, as soon as Prabhupada came and gave all this knowledge, they drew Mount Meru, the ocean of liquor, ocean of milk, ocean of salt water, like that, an ocean of fresh water, so on. Because they had this tradition, actually. They had this tradition of this knowledge and how people made graphical depictions. So they immediately converted that into graphical depictions, images. Again, there's a lot of science behind what is austereness, what is Valinor. We won't get into that. So if you look at the right side, the left side image is a little blurred. So this is, everything starts from the Moses, right? The pharaohs. So the pharaohs were subjugating the Jews, and the Jews were under control of these pharaohs for a long time. And then their leader Moses goes up to the mountain and he does tapas or austerity for 40 days, and he gets a vision of God. And then God gives him 10 commandments, which he writes it on a tablet, or according to one story, the lightning comes and it engraves that on a tablet, and he brings the tablet down the hill and says, "Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not lie." There are these 10 commandments that God apparently gave to Moses. So on the right side, according to the Bible, creation happened 4174 BC. That's it. Only 6,200 years, the age of the universe, according to them. And then you see there are various individuals in their parampara, right? We have a parampara coming from Krishna, Krishna to Brahma, Brahma to Narada, etc. So they have their own parampara. Adam, Seth, Enosh, Canaan, Mahalalel, Jared, Enoch. You see a lot of the names of your colleagues are these names. I have a colleague called Jared. Methuselah, Lamech, Noah. Noah is very famous for the Noah's Ark. And apparently there was a big flood, 2518, where Noah protects a key species and then transfer them over to the new world. Right? Then you have Shem, Arpachshad, and so on, till you come to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. These three are very famous characters in their parampara. Abraham, also known as Ibrahim in Muslim parampara. Isaac, like Newton's first name is Isaac Newton, right? Isaac is also a very famous personality in that parampara. And Jacob, so Abraham, Isaac, Jacob have made a lot of contributions to their literature and so on. So the key thing is there is a flood, before the flood and after the flood, pretty much. That's how it is important. And Noah built this ark, and then Noah's lifetime. So in 75 years, all this information happened, where he protected all the animals and the plants and key herbs according to their tradition. And then 2200 BC, pyramids were built. And then so many people come after that. So if you look at this, this is an absolute scale. This is not a BC AD. Everything is BC. So you have to subtract 2000, some magic number is there, 2100 or something, to come to AD. AD means after death of Christ. BC is before the birth of Christ. So that's how it is divided in general. So I found this diagram to be very interesting because they also have some kind of parampara which is coming in, and obviously the pyramids and how the pharaohs subjugated the Jews, and then from the Jews, one of the Jews was Jesus, and he kind of started his new religion, anti-violent religion, non-violent religion called Christianity. And then, of course, Christians then started eating meat and everything else, and they made their religion also violent. So if you look at ancient Egypt, 2650 before Christ, the first pyramid is built. 3100 BC, King Narmer unites Egypt and records it in the Narmer Palette. So there's something called the Narmer Palette. It's just like a book, stone book, where he engraved the information. Incidentally, right now they are building a time capsule under the Ram temple, 2000 feet below. So later on, if somebody comes and says, no, 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 this temple now belongs to the Christians, there was no Ram temple, or this belongs to the Muslims or Buddhists, or whatever the case might be, they can dig deep and find that thing. So similarly, the ancient Egypt people also created time capsules and documented it. And that's how, by reading their time capsules, we are knowing what is what. So there are various things. The Egyptians introduced gods for all areas of their lives. Of course, the gods were already there in the Vedic literature, like god of fire, god of sun. The god of sun is called Ahura Mazda in Persia, right? Of course, God is called, the sun god is called Vivaswan, according to Vedic tradition. And there is a person called Vivaswan living on planet Sun, but then they had to reintroduce because everything was forgotten in that part of the world. So a new kingdom came about, and then 1070 BC, Egyptians joined Re and Amun to make the Amun-Ra, king of gods. And from then, they were worshipped as such, like kings were Raja Rishis, as we say, right? So they were king gods in the Egyptian tradition. Then 332 BC, Alexander the Great conquered Egypt and founded Alexandria. He was from Greece. And then, of course, he came subsequently to India also. And then he got kicked out and he died on his way back to Greece. And then 330 BC, Cleopatra kills herself. That's about the time when Alexander was also kicked out of India by Purushottam, Maharaj Purushottam. So then there is a concept of judges in the ancient Egypt, right? All these things are available in bible.ca. So somebody is doing, just like Swami Prabhupada is doing, and his disciples are doing in ISKCON, somebody is doing all this stuff in the Christian tradition also, trying to develop a chronology, right? So, but all these things are very, very new chronology. If you can see, the oldest they go is up to 3100 BC. And before that, they were only monkeys, and human beings evolved from monkeys, according to these people, right? Because nothing's documented. Whereas quite a bit was documented in the Vedic tradition, but most of them, 50,000 temples were destroyed by Muslims, and all the texts were destroyed. So now whatever is available is considered to be real, and whatever is burnt down is not considered at all. It never existed in modern man's view. And that's why people don't believe in religion. People don't believe in, the need to surrender to God. They think, oh yeah, human beings are only like 5,000, 6,000 years on this planet, and it really doesn't matter what happened, and just eat, drink, and be merry. That's the modern religion. Just enjoy life, because after you die, you cannot enjoy. So people do, go overboard in enjoyment. So there is a lot of statistics here. So it's 967 BC, Solomon's 4th year as king, 480 years after leaving Egypt. So this is the chronology of the judges. So there were various judges in the Egyptian line. If you also see in the movie, any movie around Jesus, there was one person, Roman judge, who was trying for Jesus's crimes, and he says, okay, I condemn you to be crucified. And then he goes and washes off his hands, and he says, this is not mine, because people wanted it, I'm doing it. So he actually literally washes his hands. That's where the term washing off hands comes. He washed off hands. He now is no longer responsible. So yeah, it's pretty interesting, but all this is like pretty new, right? 3200, if you see top left hand corner, that's the extent that people know history. And then um, this is a much better representation of Exodus. Exodus means all the Jews leave Egypt and come to the promised land, which is Jerusalem, right? So you see Aaron was there. One of my colleagues' name is Aaron. Moses. So Moses is the person who actually gave them all their information. Then Joshua, like some of your colleagues' names also Joshua. They call him Josh, like that, right? So there are a lot of these people. So Joshua spent 35 to 40 years in the promised land. And then period of judges. So there were a whole series of judges, right? Othniel, Ehud, Deborah, Gideon. Like in Bible also there is a section around Gideon. Then Samson, Philistines. The Palestinian people are called Philistines. So the Philistines ruled for about 40 years. So not everybody ruled at every time. So then Samuel, he became a judge since he was 10 years old. Then you have Saul, David, Solomon. These three people are very important, right? A lot of modern quotes are based on Saul, David, and Solomon. You will also hear some terms like Solomon the Great, right? So there was an Egyptian time when everybody was a slave for the Egyptians, like the Jews. There was wilderness when people were roaming in the forest and in deserts. Then comes promised land, which is Jerusalem. And then Solomon started to build the temple. Right here is when Solomon the Great started building the Jerusalem temple. And that's their claim to fame, right? I mean, that's when they started doing things. So again, this is a different representation of Abraham, Sarah, Isaac, and Israel is enslaved in Egypt for 400 years. So if you go back here, this is the Egyptian thing, and then followed by wilderness. Then Moses, Aaron, and Joshua came, and Moses was kind of their rescuer. He spent some time in the wilderness, and then he brings the tabernacle. Remember I talked about the tablet? It's actually called the tabernacle on which all these things are written, into the promised land. And then they go to the promised land. So originally it was Mesopotamia, followed by Egypt ruled, then Canaan, a different kingdom ruled, and then finally the prophets, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and Daniel. So they have their own parampara, right? The Jews have their own parampara, and then they say Moses is their last prophet, and then from there Jesus came, and Christians considered Jesus their last prophet. And of course, Jews are still waiting for their next prophet to come. And after that, the Muslims said that Muhammad is their prophet, but Jews still don't believe that neither Jesus nor Muhammad is their prophet. Their final prophet is yet to come. Right? So that's how the differences between the three religions. Otherwise, all three religions have the same background. Of course, Muslims veered off into a different trajectory, a tangent, and their way of dressing, their way of eating, their language, they went in a different direction. Right? And if you look at here, you see all the Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes means pertaining to religion. Ecclesiastical means something pertaining to religion. So all these things came, the modern language for their religion came around this time. So Mark 10.6, Mark is one of the disciples of Jesus. So as I said, Bible is a compilation of 12 of Jesus's disciples. So he believes in New Age theory that human beings have been around only for 5,000 years. And he's saying that the Earth's age is little over that. That's about it, right? So the Christians, the New Age Christians say that Earth is only around 5,000, 6,000 years old. The scientists say that it's only a few million years since, about 1 million years since human beings are on Earth. Only the Vedic tradition says that people have been here for 2 billion years. So Vedic tradition is very old. So this is Earth's history according to anthropologists and geologists. So moon formed around 4,600 million years ago, 4.6 billion years ago. And according to them, Earth is newer than the moon. So according to them, first you had all these prokaryotic cells, proterozoic cells, cephalopods, fungus, insects, and human beings came much later towards the end, right? Homo sapiens appear towards the end. But that's not what Vedic knowledge tells us. So Vedic knowledge tells us around 4.5 billion years ago, Earth comes from body of Mahavishnu, moon comes from body of Mahavishnu, all the devatas inhabit the sun and the moon. 2 billion years ago, first human beings came. How? Because Swayambhuva Manvantara is the first Manvantara in the Kalpa, according to Srimad Bhagavatam. It starts about 2 billion years ago. Srimad Bhagavatam says humans started this universe 2 billion years ago. Yes, Srimad Bhagavatam says that human beings are there for 2 billion years ago. I mean, so many things like Darwin theory, this theory, that theory, Cambrian explosion, they all came much later. And according to them, first came dinosaurs, then came monkeys, then came humans. But there is no evidence in the Vedic literature or in the Vedic texts of that. Vedic texts talk about human beings from the Swayambhuva Manvantara, from the very beginning. I added this after His Grace Drutrakarma Prabhu corrected me. He said, according to Swayambhuva Manvantara, people are there at 2 billion years ago. And then, of course, this is the modern lifetime, 1.7 million years ago. We had coexistence of Supreme Lord Rama, Devatas, demigods, humans, birds, monkeys, chimpanzees, insects. Everybody was coexisting. So it's not like we came from chimpanzees. And about 5,000 years ago, Bhagavad Gita was spoken, the battlefield of Mahabharata. And 430,000 years, Earth as we know it will be annihilated and destroyed. So that is a brief survey of timeline according to scientific tradition, Vedic tradition, and Christian tradition. Any questions?